Alright, it's recording.
Alright. Hello, and welcome. What? Hello, stargazers. Welcome to Warframe. Today we're going to be talking about the Vauban little touch-up, a little retouch. Mini rework, I suppose, is how we could call it. But yeah, I want to talk about it because it's actually really good. This is my Vauban. I did grab the heirloom skin. Looks fantastic. I'm not super fond of the helmet, I'll be perfectly honest. Helmet, not really doing it for me. But I do love the Grax helmet, so I have that on it, and it works, passably well. But we're not here to talk about fashion frame, although the heirloom skin, as I said, is phenomenal. We are here instead to talk about the rework. So they've changed a handful of things. They've changed some behaviors with the Tesla Nervos. They will spread out a little bit more evenly, right? So they'll kind of like reach further. They'll kind of spread out. What? They'll kind of like spread around a lot more in a room. So that's really nice. Incapacitated, right? Dealing extra damage to incapacitated enemies. That's kind of what his whole kit does, right? So incapacitated electric damage incapacitates. The tethered enemies are, I think, technically incapacitated, and any enemies inside of Bastille or its vortex are also counted as incapacitated, if I'm not mistaken. That might be entirely incorrect, right? But I have noticed that he's incredibly strong. You can see my build here. Both of my arcanes are strictly weapon-based. So Arcane Fury is hitting on melee damage, Arcane Rise hitting on damage to primary weapons, right? But here's the thing. I am telling you right now that with a full suite of energy, I can summon 20 level 155 Steel Path Corrupted Heavy Gunners and kill all of them using only his abilities. He's actually that strong right now. Now, it takes a little bit of doing in a very particular setup so that I don't die, but let's just take a look. So we hit the Bastille to kind of link them all up. Sometimes one of those will kind of go through. You're going to get these out here and collapse the Bastille. Now we're going to send out a Fletchet Orb and a nuke, and they're all dead. Now, honestly, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't know that the Fletchet Orb was necessary in that interaction, but it's still fun to put one down because it's just kind of silly. But yeah, he's incredibly strong now, and as you saw, my build is pretty rudimentary. There's not too much craziness going on with it, like Blind Rage, Continuity, Transient Fortitude, right? Like some pretty basic mods, right? You can get away with using just a regular flow here if you don't have primed, but Barrow has it relatively frequently, so you won't really have to worry about that too much. But yeah, otherwise we're just using regular mods, right? The 3 mods for all of the ability stats, right? So Stretch, Continuity, Intensify, Streamline, right? Transient Fortitude isn't filled out. Primed Flow isn't filled out. And I have one Augment mod that just does duration for Bastille. It doesn't even increase damage. He's actually just incredibly strong now. It's pretty cool. Now, I haven't tried him out in any practical sense, but I am loving this little bit of a tweak. I will say the combination of Tether and Fletchet is really nice, although I'm not super fond of having the Vector Pad alongside the Overdrive Pad. Like alongside the Overdrive Orb, kind of in the same thing. Mostly just because the speed that you get off of the Vector Pad if you're building for strength is kind of insane. Right, I can show it off here. Right, we put one down. We're running along, and I'm in the wall. Right? Now, you can kind of control this if you really know what you're doing, right? You hit that, and you just kind of like bullet jump out of it. But it's just a little bit of like an extra layer of like a movement interaction that like it just doesn't feel great for getting a 69% damage boost, which is unfortunate. Now, something that I do want to test. What did I just say? Something that I do want to test is if that Tether Fletchet Orb is necessary. Now, in this case, I am going to pause the AI because we're just damage testing here. So we do Bastille, our Nervos, right? Collapse the Bastille. Hit a new. It's not incredibly necessary, but it does kind of clear. It does kind of clear them out a little bit faster. But I mean, the vortex is holding them down for well more than long enough to like kind of keep them down and dead. So honestly, I would say, unless you really want the dash pad or you really want the tether and flesh it orbs, because you're using like the augment for it, then I would say maybe subsume some other damage increase mod like Roar, or if you're looking for weapon damage, you can go for Mesa's Shooting Gallery, or if you want some extra damage reduction as well, you can go for Mirage's Eclipse, so that you can grab some damage reduction alongside having that damage buff whenever you need it. But yeah, just a quick little video here. I just wanted to kind of get my thoughts out there on this. I guess we can also look at the Dagoth Deluxe skin, because that looks fantastic. I haven't gotten it yet, but we can give it a gander right in here. The Ifari skin. I think this looks amazing. I love the kind of like sleek and smooth materials, the energy coming out of the hair and tail. It all looks so fantastic. They really just kind of cooked with it. I really do enjoy it. I'm definitely going to pick this up. I might even grab one for Mako, right? Because Mako does play Dagoth. But to my knowledge, Dagoth's kit hasn't really changed. So, like, there's not really... Oh, thanks, Pete. Yeah, I don't think that they really changed her kit at all. I think she's still pretty much the same. But if you manage to play those little alerts that they had leading up to this update, if you manage to get the parts for Dagoth, then you have a spare one that you can subsume, which is really cool because you can drop the weird scythes on any warframe you want, and that's pretty rad. But yeah, that's about it for me. Just wanted to yap about the retouch, and yeah, there's not really anything else. Stay funky, keep stargazing. See ya.